Next up here is a cross-section of our thrust stage theater. This shows a cross-section of the center section of the theater. In this section of seating, the audience would enter from the lobby here. They would go up 2 feet on a ramp, up 2 feet to a level here. At that point, they had their choice of either continuing up for these 3 levels of seating in the lower level, or if there is no orchestra pit, which is right here, if there's no orchestra pit, you can continue down for 2 more levels of seating here, which would take you directly onto the stage. Here you'll see this little head right here represents about a 6-foot tall person, so we can kind of standing at the very edge of the stage. So this kind of gives you an idea of perspective here. Here's a 6-foot person coming into the theater. Here's seating at the top level here. Behind the seating area is the 1.5 level where our booth would be to call the show from for our stage manager, lighting, automation. There would also be over the 2 VOMs, you may recall, that were angles in the coming into the theater. There would be there'd be like little drawbridges that would be attached to the top of those VOMs, and one of those areas would be used for our sound mix when we needed to have a musical, or could be used for additional lighting, or even for a special playing area for performers if we needed that for a show. The second level, you enter here at the second level, and then you go down 2 feet. You take a ramp on either side down, and you enter the theater actually at the 18-foot level above the stage. So you have, at that place, you have 2 rows of seating, 18 feet, and then down 32 inches, so almost down to 15 feet here, and then a 2-foot front piece there to hang lights on, so that'd be 13 feet, I think, above the stage level right here. This area here, the top row here, is 6 feet above the stage level. We have allowed 4 feet for all of our rows, so there's plenty of room for people to walk through, and you don't all have to get up for people to cross in front or behind you. But this is our thrust stage theater. This is, like I said, looking at the second level. If you go up 10 more feet, 2.5 would be a level where our follow spot booth would be there for this theater to work from. And also at that level, the 2.5 level, is also where our grid would be. And then further up on the third level would be where we'd have our mechanization, where we could fly pieces in and do special effects, that sort of thing. The inspiration for this, for the finish out of this theater, as I told you, the proscenium was based off of Bass Hall. This one, the inspiration, comes from the St. Martin Theatre in London, which I like to point out the woodwork here, beautiful woodwork, and we would include both in our proscenium and our thrust stage theater. On the sides here of the pieces coming down, we would have openings there covered with speakers that would be built into the proscenium, literally, so that our we wouldn't have banks of speakers just hanging in front. This would look more of a piece. Also, I like the idea of these thin pilasters here, and then alternated with sections of fabric, perhaps of a William Morris design fabric there. So the idea, the look we want to accomplish is a look of history, a look of this is a theater, this is a space where things have been going on for years, and there's a lot of weight and importance to them. This would also, being the Thrust Theater, would be one of the primary stages we would probably use every year for our Shakespeare productions. So I think it gives a nice feel for that. Although it's Victorian in look a little bit, it still gives a feeling of a tradition to me, and I think it's a warm, That wood gives a nice warm feel to the space, as well as being a great sound conductor for our singers and our actors as well. So that's our thrust stage theater. Next, we'll take a look at our arena theater.